The phone rang in the dead of night, shattering the silence of our suburban Chicago home. It was my wife, Sarah, calling from her business trip in New York, her voice frantic as she explained her flight was delayed by a storm. But as I hung up, I heard footsteps in the hallway. My stepson Leo, 22 and home from college, standing there in the dim light, his eyes locking onto mine with an intensity that made my heart race. And in that moment, I knew the secret I'd buried for years was about to unravel everything. Leo had always been the quiet type, the kind of kid who observed more than he spoke. He'd come into my life when I married Sarah 5 years ago, fresh out of a messy divorce that left her protective and me eager to prove I could be the stable father figure he needed. I was 45, a corporate lawyer in downtown Chicago, living the American dream. A spacious house in Oak Park, weekend barbecues with neighbors, and a marriage that looked perfect from the outside. But inside, doubts gnawed at me. Doubts about my happiness, my choices, and the lingering glances I'd catch myself giving to men in the gym or on the train. I'd push them down, convinced they were just stress, just imagination. Until that night, Leo knocked softly on my bedroom door after Sarah's call. "Can't sleep?" he asked, his voice low and steady. He was shirtless, fresh from a shower, his athletic build from college soccer evident in the moonlight filtering through the curtains. I nodded, sitting up in bed, and invited him in. We talked about trivial things at first, his classes at Northwestern, my latest case at the firm. But the conversation shifted when he mentioned his recent breakup with his girlfriend. "She said I wasn't present," he confessed, his eyes dropping to the floor. "Like I'm hiding something." I felt a pang in my chest, recognizing that evasion all too well. Before I knew it, I was sharing my own frustrations with Sarah. How our marriage felt more like a partnership than passion. How I wondered if I'd settled for security over true connection. As the hours ticked by, the talk grew deeper. Leo admitted he'd questioned his sexuality in high school, experimenting quietly but never committing. "Society expects us to fit into boxes," he said, his hand brushing mine accidentally. Or was it? The touch sent a jolt through me, awakening feelings I denied for decades. I pulled away, but not before he noticed. "Alex," he whispered, using my first name instead of Dad, which we'd awkwardly settled on. "You feel it too, don't you?" Panic surged. I denied it, stood up, told him to go back to bed. But as he left, the seed was planted, and sleep evaded me, my mind racing with what-ifs and whys. The next morning, breakfast was tense. Sarah texted she'd be home in 2 days, giving us an unintended buffer. Leo acted normal, pouring coffee and chatting about the Bears game, but his eyes held a knowing glint. I escaped to work, burying myself in depositions, but thoughts of him intruded. Was this attraction real or just loneliness? By evening, when I returned home, Leo had cooked dinner, pasta with marinara, a simple gesture that felt intimate. We ate in silence at first, then he broke it. "Last night wasn't nothing," he said firmly. "I've seen how you look at me, and I feel the same." My fork clattered to the plate. Denial rose like bile, but so did desire. I stormed out to the garage, pretending to tinker with tools, but he followed. The confrontation was inevitable. "You're my stepson," I hissed, keeping my voice low as if the neighbors could hear. "This is wrong. Morally, legally, everything." Leo stepped closer, his face earnest. "Legally? I'm an adult. Morally? Love doesn't follow rules." Love? The word hit like a punch. I shoved him back, not hard, but enough to create distance. "Get out," I ordered, but he didn't. Instead, he challenged me. "Why marry Mom if you're not straight?" The question pierced my defenses. I'd met Sarah at a time when I was running from myself, after a college fling with a roommate I'd dismissed as experimentation. Marrying her was safe, expected. My conservative parents in Texas beamed at the wedding photos. But now, facing Leo, the facade cracked. We argued for hours, voices rising and falling. He accused me of living a lie, of dragging Sarah into it. I countered that he was young, confused, that this would destroy our family. But beneath the anger, vulnerability surfaced. Leo shared stories of bullying in school for being too sensitive, how he'd hidden his crushes on boys to fit in. I confessed my own suppressed memories. A high school coach I'd idolized a bit too much, dreams I'd wake from in shame. By dawn, exhaustion won, and we collapsed on the couch, not touching, but closer in spirit than ever. As the sun rose, I made a decision. I'd ignore it, pretend it never happened. But Leo's parting words haunted me. Ignoring it won't make it go away. Sarah's return loomed like a deadline. That day, I called in sick to work, and Leo skipped classes. We spent it avoiding each other, but tension built like a storm. In the afternoon, he suggested a walk in the nearby park to clear our heads. Reluctantly, I agreed. The autumn leaves crunched underfoot, families picnicking around us, a stark reminder of normalcy. We sat on a bench and Leo opened up more. His fear of coming out to Sarah, the pressure from friends to date women. "I thought you were the one person who might understand," he said. I did too well. In a moment of weakness, I admitted, "I've never felt alive like this." Our hands met, fingers intertwining briefly before I yanked away, glancing around paranoid. Back home, the dam broke. Over coffee, Leo leaned in, and before I could stop, our lips met. A soft, tentative kiss that ignited years of repression. It lasted seconds, but the world shifted. Guilt crashed in immediately. I pushed him away, muttering apologies, fleeing to my room. That night, as Sarah's plane landed, I lay awake, torn between ecstasy and horror. What had I done? The kiss was a betrayal, not just to Sarah, but to the life I'd built. Leo knocked once, whispering goodnight, but I didn't respond. Tomorrow, normalcy would resume, or so I thought. Sarah arrived the next morning, jet-lagged but cheerful, oblivious to the undercurrents. She hugged Leo, then me, and for a moment, routine masked the chaos. But Leo's eyes met mine over her shoulder, a silent plea. Lunch was awkward. I overcompensated with affection towards Sarah, which she noticed. "You okay, honey?" she asked. I nodded, but inside, turmoil raged. That afternoon, while Sarah napped, Leo cornered me in the kitchen. "We need to talk about it," he insisted. I whispered harshly, "There's nothing to talk about. It was a mistake." Hurt flashed in his eyes, but he pressed, "Was it? Or are you scared?" The argument escalated in hushed tones. He accused me of cowardice, of choosing comfort over truth. I fired back about responsibility, about not appending lives for a fleeting feeling. But deep down, I knew it wasn't fleeting. That evening, as we all watched TV, the facade held, but cracks showed. Sarah sensed something, asking if we'd fought while she was gone. We denied it, but her suspicion lingered. Later, in bed, she initiated intimacy, but I couldn't respond, my mind on Leo. She rolled away hurt, and I stared at the ceiling, weighing the cost of honesty. The following days blurred into a tense routine. Work consumed me, but Leo texted subtly, "We can't ignore this." I deleted them, but they burned in my memory. One night, Sarah announced a family dinner with her parents. Conservative folks from the Midwest who'd never accept anything alternative. Panic set in. Leo and I stole moments to argue. He wanted to come clean, I begged for time. Time for what? To pretend. He snapped. The pressure built, my sleep fragmented by dreams of exposure. Then, the breaking point. Sarah found a deleted text on my phone. Leo had sent, "I miss talking." Innocent on surface, but she confronted us both. "What's going on?" she demanded. Lies tumbled out, but Leo, brave or reckless, cracked. "Mom, I'm gay," he said first, tears in his eyes. Sarah reeled, hugging him, but then turned to me. "And you? Why the secrets?" I froze, the moment of truth. I think I am too," I whispered. The room exploded. Sarah's shock turned to rage, accusing me of using her as a cover. Leo tried to intervene, but she pieced it together. "You too? Oh God." Denial was futile. The kiss confessed under pressure. Betrayal hit like a wave. Sarah stormed out, calling her sister. Leo and I sat in stunned silence. "This is what honesty costs," he said bitterly. I nodded, realizing the family I cherished was fracturing. Calls to Sarah went unanswered. She stayed at a hotel. The next day, her parents arrived, a whirlwind of judgment. "This is unnatural," her father bellowed. I defended Leo, but not myself. Cowardice again. Leo stood tall. "Love isn't unnatural." But the damage was done. Whispers of divorce hung in the air. In the aftermath, I moved to a hotel, giving Sarah space. Leo visited, our talks raw. "Was it worth it?" he asked. I didn't know. Therapy beckoned, but society's glare loomed. Friends distanced. Work colleagues whispered. The moral quandary tormented me. Had I groomed him? No, he was adult, initiator even. But doubt persisted. Sarah filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, sparing public scandal but privately devastated. Months passed. Leo and I navigated a fragile bond. Not romantic yet, but honest. He dated others, testing waters, while I confronted my identity alone. Coming out to my parents was brutal, disownment threatened, but freedom tasted bittersweet. Sarah healed slowly, co-parenting from afar. The price: a shattered home, lost trust, awakened selves. As the divorce proceedings began, the weight of my choices pressed harder. Sarah's lawyer was ruthless, painting me as the villain who deceived her for years. I didn't contest much, guilt fueling my concessions. Leo, caught in the crossfire, testified neutrally, but his eyes betrayed pain. "I never meant to hurt her," he told me after court. We met secretly in coffee shops, our conversations laced with regret and resolve. "We have to face this," I said, but inside, fear of societal backlash gnawed. Chicago's LGBTQ community offered support groups, but attending felt like admitting defeat. One evening, Leo confessed he'd been seeing a therapist. "She says I need to process the family dynamic," he shared. I nodded, enrolling myself. Sessions unearthed buried traumas. My father's homophobic rants growing up, my mother's silent complicity. "You've internalized shame," my therapist said. "It explained my marriage, my denial." But understanding didn't erase the hurt inflicted. Sarah's friends circled wagons, spreading rumors. Suddenly, invitations dried up. At work, a partner pulled me aside. Discretion is key. Promotion chances dimmed. Leo faced his own battles. College friends divided. Some supportive, others accusatory. "Dude, your stepdad? That's messed up," one said. He lost a roommate, gained isolation. We clashed over it. "This is your fault for pushing," I accused once. He fired back. "My fault? You kissed back." The argument escalated, ending in tears. "We're both victims of our secrets," he concluded. Reconciliation tentative, we agreed to space, but longing persisted. Sarah reached out unexpectedly, wanting closure. We met at a neutral diner. "How long?" she asked, eyes red. I admitted the doubts predated our marriage. "I thought I could change," I said. She slapped the table. "You used me." Valid, but I countered. "I loved you in my way." Tears flowed. She revealed her own suspicions over the years. I ignored them for stability. The meeting ended amicably, but wounds lingered. She asked about Leo. "Is it real between you?" I hesitated. "We're figuring it out." Disgust flashed, but she nodded. "Don't drag him down." Post-divorce, I rented a small apartment in Wrigleyville, closer to the vibrant gay scene but worlds from suburbia. Leo visited often, our bond evolving. No physicality, therapy advised caution, but emotional intimacy grew. We attended pride events incognito, testing waters. But backlash hit. An anonymous email to my firm, outing me. HR investigated. I kept my job, but trust eroded. Leo's soccer team benched him after rumors. "Prejudice hides in progress," he mused bitterly. A turning point came when my parents called. "We heard," Dad growled. "Disgrace." I defended. "This is who I am." Mom wept. We raised you better. The call ended in silence, a chasm widening. Leo comforted me. Family isn't blood, it's choice. His words echoed as I navigated dating apps, awkward firsts confirming my orientation. But guilt over Sarah shadowed joy. Sarah remarried quickly, a stable accountant. Leo attended the wedding reluctantly, reporting back, "She's happy without us." Jealousy stung, but relief followed. Our own path clarified. We decided to pursue a relationship slowly, aware of optics. Society will judge, I warned. He shrugged. Let them. But judgment came, old friends ghosted, new ones questioned ethics. Therapy deepened, exploring power dynamics, ensuring consent. Age gap matters, my counselor noted. Leo's agreed. But love transcends. Debates raged internally. Was this right? The moral gray area tormented. One night, over dinner, Leo proposed moving in. Too soon, I said. He pushed. Or too scared. The decision loomed, a test of commitment. External storms brewed as internal ones raged. My firm assigned me fewer high-profile cases, subtle discrimination. I confronted my boss. Is this about my personal life? He denied, but eyes said otherwise. Resignation tempted, but bills piled. Divorce drained savings. Leo struggled too. Graduation approached, job hunts faltered. Interviews go well until background checks, he lamented. Rumors followed us like shadows. We attended a support group for LGBTQ families. Stories mirrored ours. Hidden lives, shattered homes. One man shared losing custody. Another, reconciliation. Hope flickered, but reality bit. Sarah's new husband, Mark, called. Stay away from Leo. Protective or jealous. Leo laughed it off, but tension mounted. We argued. See? This is the cost. He countered. Hiding was costlier. A betrayal blindsided. Leo's ex-girlfriend, bitter from the breakup, posted online anonymously. Stepdad affair destroys family. It went viral locally. Comments vicious. Predator. Disgusting. My phone buzzed with hate. Leo's too. We hunkered down, but damage spread. Work placed me on leave. Leo deferred job offers. We fight back, he urged. I hired a PR consultant, expensive but necessary. Confronting Sarah again. She denied involvement, but suspicion lingered. Your mess, she said coldly. Reconciliation seemed impossible. My parents resurfaced via letter. Praying for you. Condescending but a crack. I responded honestly. Accept me or not. No reply. In isolation, our bond strengthened. Late nights discussing dreams. Leo wanted social work, helping queer youth. I had advocacy law. We can make change, he said. But doubt crept. Was our love born of trauma? Therapy probed. Separate identities first. We paused romance, focusing on self. Society's mirror reflected harshly. At a pride parade, we marched separately, fear of recognition. A friend spotted me. Brave. But online trolls persisted. Leo snapped one day. Maybe we end this. Heartbreak loomed. No, I pleaded. We've paid too much to quit. Reconciliation passionate, but chaste, emotions raw. A moral crossroads. Leo suggested coming out publicly. An article. Own our story. I hesitated. Career suicide? But silence equaled shame. We drafted it together, highlighting struggles, not sensationalism. Published in a local LGBTQ mag. Response mixed. Support from community, backlash from conservatives. Fallout immediate. Firm fired me, citing distraction. Lawsuit considered, but energy low. Leo's internship revoked. Discrimination, we cried. Legal battles ensued, draining resources. Sarah softened slightly. I don't approve, but hate the hate. Olive branch. Through it, awakening dawned. I volunteered at shelters, finding purpose. Leo counseled peers. Pain forged resilience. But the price? Fractured relationships, financial ruin, emotional scars. Personal reckonings hit hardest in quiet moments. Alone in my apartment, I sifted through old photos. Wedding day smiles mocking now. What if I'd been honest sooner? Regret poisoned sleep. Leo visited, bearing similar burdens. Mom's wedding photo. I'm in it, faking happiness. We shared vulnerabilities, bonding deeper. Therapy intensified. Unpacking, forbidden label. Society imposes it, counselor said. But ethics demand examination. Age difference, family ties, debates endless. Leo argued. Consent trumps all. I countered. Context matters. Resolution elusive, but dialogue healed. A surprise. Sarah invited us to coffee. For closure, she said. Tense but honest. I mourned the life I thought we had, she admitted. Tears flowed. Apologies exchanged. I forgive, but can't forget. Leo hugged her. I nodded gratitude. A step toward mending. My parents called again. We miss you. Tentative visit planned. In Texas, confrontations awaited. Dad grumbled. Against God's plan. I stood firm. My plan. Mom mediated, sharing her own regrets. I should have supported you. Breakthrough fragile but real. Career pivot. I started a pro bono clinic for LGBTQ rights. Fulfilling, though pay meager. Leo graduated, landing a nonprofit job. Our story inspires, he said. Indeed, emails poured in, similar struggles, thanks for visibility. But shadows lingered. A night out, hecklers shouted slurs. Leo defended. I pulled him away. Not worth it. But anger festered. Therapy helped channel it. Romance reignited slowly. Dates, hand-holding, defiant acts. Moral dilemmas peaked when a young client mirrored our story, advising him, weigh costs carefully. Hypocrisy, no wisdom from wounds. Family holidays approached. Sarah hosted Thanksgiving neutrally. Awkward but civil. Toasts to new beginnings. My parents Skyped in, strained smiles. As year ended, reflection. Losses immense, gains profound. Was the pain worth freedom? Leo asked. I smiled. Ask me in 10 years. Climax built as external forces converged. My clinic faced funding cuts, conservative backlash. Protests outside. Signs decrying perversion. Leo rallied supporters. Media covered. Heroes or villains? Headlines screamed. We chose heroes speaking out. A betrayal from within. A friend leaked private emails, twisting words. Scandal renewed. Leo raged. Who? Investigation pointed to a jealous colleague. Confrontation ugly. You disgust me. Fired but trust shattered. Sarah intervened unexpectedly, publicly supporting us in an op-ed. My ex-husband's journey taught me empathy. Waves of support followed. But her motive? For Leo, she said privately. Grateful, we mended fences further. Parents visited Chicago. Tense dinners. Dad probed uncomfortably. How'd this happen? I explained patiently. By end, grudging acceptance. You're still my son. Mom hugged Leo. Welcome. Career rebounded. National attention brought donations. Leo promoted leading workshops. But internal climax. I proposed commitment to Leo, not marriage yet, but partnership. After all this, he accepted tearfully. Celebration small, intimate. Yet, a final twist. Anonymous threat, extortion over incest claims. Though false, fear gripped. Police involved. Culprit a troll. Arrest made, but paranoia lingered. Through it, food for thought. Choices ripples endless. Resolution came gradually, scars fading into strength. Our partnership flourished. Shared home, routines built on trust. Society adapted, friends returned, new ones formed. Work thrived. My clinic expanded, Leo's impact grew. Sarah remarried happily. We attended, family redefined. Parents visited annually, bonds mending. Reflecting, the journey's cost. Lost innocence, but gained authenticity. Betrayals taught caution. Damages, resilience. awakenings, to self, love, justice. But one question lingers. In pursuing personal truth, did we justify the collateral pain inflicted on others, or was silence the greater sin?